Hello and welcome to Pull the Crown. Today we're doing a list of the top watches that we would genuinely park our money on in 2026. Basically starting the year with like 3 watches each that we think you should highly consider.
And we came up with 3 different categories, which is best daily driver, best value for money, and best designed watch. And these are just the watches that we get 3.
I do like our categories. I think our categories are really solid.
Yeah, and I don't think it's time specific. Like all my picks came out in the last, let's say 5 years, 4 years. 4 years. Yeah. But so 2026, hey, listen, man, I'd still get them, and it's 2026. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does.
They're like passing the test of time. Like you still love them.
There we go.
Okay, well, before we get into it, I think we should do the news.
My favorite segment.
You don't even like the news.
I hate the news.
All right, fine.
That's the point of irony and sarcasm, by the way, Chris.
You might want to hone that in better.
All right. So what do we got here?
Okay, so this is my first pick. So this is basically fresh off the press, like brand new release. Honestly, I'm really just bringing it up because I find it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
so we've said this before, like TAG Heuer and specifically the Heuer lineup they're just killing it. Like they're doing really beautiful stuff. I feel like, and again, I've said this on this podcast before, TAG Heuer is getting cool again. Like they're getting cool enough that I want to buy a tag so I could put a TAG Heuer sticker on an old 911. Like that kind of cool for me. You know what I mean? Like just like typical nostalgic, like, I don't know. I just find it really cool. This particular model and its complication don't speak to me at all. I'm really speaking specifically to the aesthetics. Apparently this is a design that they like reissued from like an Abercrombie and Finch design back in the day. I don't even know what that means. I don't remember when they did a collab with like a clothing line. It makes no sense to me. But again, the design of like that Tiffany blue aesthetic sprinkled in the dial, the gilt accents.
What's the complication?
It has a giant ear style Nautilus button on the side that says tide on it. So the complication is it's a chronograph, but you can like set the tide on it. So it's for seafarers.
Instead of setting the time, you set the tide. It's clever.
It's not clever at all. I don't even understand what you would use this for. Like this is not a watch that's like designed for a surfer, and it doesn't have surfer vibes.
I think you just pissed off every watch geek on the planet. First of all, you said something hilarious there. You called it an ear. You said it was a Nautilus style knob, which doesn't even make sense.
No. The Nautilus case has ears. We agree? We agree, yes.
Not really.
What do you mean?
Not really.
Dude, I like the Nautilus. I'll be the first one to admit it has ears.
It's, you're talking about what they refer to as the wings, not the ears.
Oh, wow. Excuse me. Sorry. Wings. Okay.
It's like,
can we just get back to this watch?
It's like calling like a 911's doors like, I don't know, freaking toes. You're just naming a completely different body part.
What?
I don't know.
That was a horrible metaphor. All right, going back to the watch. I don't know who this watch is for other than the fact that it looks gorgeous. I still think they should saw off the tide button because it throws off the proportions.
But there's a whole complication for it. What are you talking about? You're supposed to set it to know and track exact timing of the high and low tides.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Who is doing that?
Who's doing anything with their watch, buddy? Honestly.
Yes, okay, fine, fair. But I'm just saying, I feel like the main purpose of this watch is because it's gorgeous. Do you agree to that? It's
I agree. The colorway is awesome. I love it.
So if they're re-releasing this like previous collaboration design, it's because it was such a nice looking watch. So I'm just saying, I feel like they threw off the design by adding that button, which just makes the whole thing irrelevant. But it's still pretty.
That's your opinion, Chris. Why don't you fire away with your next piece of news?
All right, fine. Next. Ooh, you're going to love this one. So
oh my God,
Daniel Roth released a new ladies watch that I thought your mom would love.
Look at that.
Yeah. So I figured I'd just bring it up for you.
Absolutely stunning. I've actually not seen this. This is the first time I'm looking at this.
Really?
This is so
Do you want to
clever.
phone up your mom and let her know? Might be a little bit.
I'm just going to skip right over all of that. This is absolutely stunning. Wow. Wow.
38.6.
I absolutely love their bridge design. So one thing that I really love about this watch is the way that it's almost taking that Cartier skeleton when the head of watchmaking at Cartier released the original skeletons in white gold,
Right.
Where they integrated the Roman numerals into the bridges. This just kind of strikes me as a similar idea here, where the bridges are very cleverly placed in almost a numerical way. It's a very subtle thing. I just love it, man. I love the contour of them. So well decorated. You throw me a good skeleton with a lot of open space, but an equal amount of texture and color. I mean, I'm over the moon.
I honestly have such strongly mixed feelings when it comes to skeleton watches. I feel like in photos they look fantastic, and then on someone's wrist they just don't, because you're looking through it to somebody's skin and hair, and then it just looks weird.
Yeah, but that's, honestly, a good skeleton plays with the empty space in a creative and funky way that it doesn't take over your eyes. Your eyes are going to be naturally drawn for a watch that's as well finished as this DR. Your eyes are just going to get straight to the bridges, man. I mean, look at that. The balance, I mean...
The finishing is insane.
The mainspring, really the barrel decoration.
It's just... I like, the joking aside, man, it looks like a lady's watch for real, though. You have to admit that, though.
It does not look like a lady's watch.
You don't find that the case shape makes it look like a lady's watch?
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Really?
No.
I'm sure deep down you agree with me. At least
I really don't, because I've had sold a few Roths. I really want one in the personal collection, as you know, from our Christmas.
Are all Daniel Roth models that case shape?
No. Back in the days of Bulgari, Daniel Roth, they did produce some different case shapes, actually. Mainly they are in the shape that's sort of, when you think of Roth DNA, that's what you think of.
Okay.
So,
because this is his proprietary design.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there a name for that case shape?
Daniel Roth.
Is it actually?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Okay.
There's a few different titles that it can go by, but yeah.
I don't even know why I brought this up other than it's brand new. It looks like shit.
Yeah, it's fucking awful, honestly. I'm in agreement.
What's with the Defy line? Am I crazy, or are there
This
like
is awful.
17 different watches all called Defy by Zenith?
Yeah, listen, I think it's in defiance of the norms of this industry.
You know what I'm referring to, right? Like there's so many different...
I know what you're saying.
Why?
Again, it's in defiance of taste, I guess.
This is definitely
to be fair,
taste. So
a lot of the Defy line is beautiful, but this watch is ugly. This is the first time I'm seeing
really
it too.
ugly. This is like them trying to release an integrated bracelet style design. It's their version.
But they've done it. They've actually done it really well.
Successfully, exactly.
Really well.
So this is like, serves what purpose other than...
Like the standard Defy line is really great. This is awful. I don't understand the sort of ridge that's going on near the bracelet integration. It's almost like an AP concept style of case design, which does not fit. It looks like chips have been taken out of the
it looks like a samurai attacked it and just like cut chunks out of it. Oh, you know what it looks like?
What?
You ever see those reels with like the intense like bartenders in Japan?
Oh, yeah.
Where they have like the little katana and they start cutting up ice
the
cubes.
ice cutting guy.
That's what it looks like. It looks like you gave a watch to that guy and were like, just cut it up, please, and make it look angular.
I wish they lit it on fire at the end. That's my only hope. Oh, cool. Nice.
Really?
That's a creative jump hour.
Okay. Anyways, it doesn't do anything for me. I saw this and I wanted to bring it up solely for the purposes of asking you the question, is there any legitimacy to buying a Louis Vuitton watch? I've heard that they're taking their horology very seriously.
The high horology stuff is really good. If we scroll down the article, maybe they're going to show some... Okay, so look at that. So that's machining happening on the guilloche. Okay. So they work with a house called La Fabrique du Temps, which is a really, really, really respectable manufacturing house in Switzerland. They produce for a lot of brands, okay, like Hermes, with their higher end stuff. They have produced for like Richard Mille, different, stuff as well. So totally legitimate manufacturers of parts, of a lot of hand finished stuff. I mean, their artisans are top notch. So LV has done some really, really great stuff. So it's a dragging hours and minutes. Interesting. So this is a legitimate watch, $58,000 by the way, but it is a legitimate high horology watch. This is not any joke. Like everything that's going on behind this watch is great. I think that the worst thing about this watch, in my opinion, is the LV name.
Well, that's kind of the question, right? Is that like, I'm hearing that they're doing really great things. I'm hearing that they're really trying to build a genuine reputation for watchmaking.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're doing all the right things, but they're not doing enough that it seems that people are talking about it readily. So that's why I was just wondering, like, as someone who's clearly knowledgeable about watches, have they garnered enough reputation that you would ever consider buying an LV or suggest that someone buy an LV?
I think, you know what? When it comes to the secondary market on these watches, as you can assume, they tank. And at some of the prices that they sell for on the secondary for a lot of this kind of stuff, they are good buys because you can't replace it. Because essentially you're taking like the same quality of a watch of an equal caliber manufacturer, but removing all the name brand, because LV means nothing to watch people, right? In reality, the amount of people that are buying a high horology watch and going, oh, I want LV as the name behind it, despite the other manufacturing that's happening, there's probably like, you know, a few hundred people in the world that would actually value that name on a watch,
right,
you know, while going for high horology. It's like, otherwise you can buy, it's like saying like, oh, I'm going to buy a Gucci watch. You're not really a watch person buying a Gucci watch. You're buying Gucci.
Yes.
And then it's a watch.
But
you know what I mean?
That's worse though, because Gucci watches for the most part are either quartz movements or just like horrible, like rebranded designer watches. Right.
So, but
it's
in
like
this
super
case,
poor quality stuff.
Right. So in this case, it's like, imagine you can get really high horology and then essentially remove the name. So all of a sudden that's the name is a value add. It's a cost on the secondary.
Yeah.
Right. It's like if you buy an Hermes watch, it's actually regarded better than LV. So there might be an added premium for an Hermes watch of the same caliber, but this might be less.
Okay.
Because you're removing the name. So it's like in that sense, it could be a good buy. Now buying them at retail, no. Retails are obviously going to be inflated, but there is such a beautiful, there are beautiful elements to this watch. I think that obviously, the guilloche and everything around it, the bezel, it's very clever. It looks like a standard coin watch, which was a really, really common style way back when. People, you know, do this design less now, but it's clever. I mean, obviously it's playing too on the Tank à Guichet, the new release by Cartier, this sort of
it's interesting. I'll give you that.
Concept.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't spend my money on it. So my last question to you about LV would be this. Do you think there will ever come a time that all of this effort will pay off to the point where you would ever start considering it, or again, ever consider suggesting it to a client?
Again, I might if they're looking for high horology at a budget and they really want to, you know, let's say they have 30 grand to spend, they want to put it somewhere where it's like, hey, I'm getting the highest horology quality possible for $30,000. It's like, if you go to Patek with $30,000, good luck.
Right.
If you go to RM, impossible.
Yeah, I
but you can
understand
go for something that was produced by a company that's produced for RM, produced parts for Patek. Maybe not. I think they might have. You know what I mean? So it's sort of in that realm of things where it's a very niche.
It's a very niche thing.
It's a very niche clientele that would be into that. But yeah, I could see myself pushing towards that. And I've seen some other models that were great. All right, let's see what else you got up here. First of all, TAG Heuer.
Do you like it?
No.
Really?
No.
There's literally nothing to talk about other than I thought it looked pretty cool.
Okay, next.
Oh, seriously? Nothing?
Meh.
There's a Ferrari style logo on the rotor. Look, it's a horsey.
Look, it's a horsey. Brian, clip that. Okay, what the fuck are you doing here, Chris?
Okay, this is my last piece of news, okay? And bear with me. I understand it's not watch related, but it is.
What are you talking about?
It is.
I understand it's not watch related.
No, but
yeah,
it is.
It's
it is.
not.
If you hear me out, you'll see the parallel that I'm going to draw. Okay. I've been harping forever that I hate modern cars. And I hate that they're replacing analog dials and putting in these big screens and they're removing buttons and making everything touch. I hate it. I like the days of cars where, for example, like the old Lexus IS 300, the actual dash was designed by TAG Heuer.
Okay.
Are you done rubbing your eyes?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say that there's a reason why watch enthusiasts like you and I love analog watches. We love the tactility of it, right? Well, now that character trait is drawing back to cars, bro. People want to press physical buttons. They want to feel knobs. They want to feel that analog.
I'm dealing with a knob right now.
Oh my God. Did you genuinely not see this?
No,
you don't see it?
I don't look at the links that you pull up because I like to be genuinely surprised by what you throw my way.
But do you not understand what I'm saying?
Imagine if before the podcast, I vetted everything that you put up on screen.
Yeah.
Imagine how boring that would be.
Okay, you're going on a tangent. Do you not agree with what I'm saying?
I don't care.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm not a car guy.
I'm not saying you have to be a car guy to understand what I'm saying. I'm
get
saying
what
the
you
mentality that we have as watch
But we don't really
enthusiasts.
deal with that. Like there isn't a company really now that's pulling away from, like there's nothing that's true about that. Like
that's not true.
Like
the number one selling watch in the world is an Apple Watch. It's a touchscreen.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different.
Right?
This is a watch podcast. We're talking about horology. We're not talking about the people that are going and buying Apple Watches and they never even thought about owning a mechanical watch. We're talking to people that care about mechanical watchmaking, even quartz watchmaking.
I'm just saying, us as enthusiasts, we pull away from smartwatches and we go towards the analog. And I find it really hilarious that now the general populace is starting to want to get away from the technology that's in cars and go back to analog buttons.
Okay.
So all of this to say conclusively, there might be a chance that people start pulling away from wanting Apple Watches and wanting to go into analog watch collecting like us because they're not going to want screens on the wrist anymore. They're going to want notifications like in their face constantly. So I'm just saying it's interesting to see how the future of watches might evolve. Because if you would look at it on the surface, you would think that analog watches are going to get less popular and digital watches are going to get increasingly popular. That's why you have, for example, TAG Heuer releasing like golf watches and stuff, right? They're banking that eventually people are going to want even like haute horology, like watch brands producing digital watches. And I'm going to argue based on this article that that's not the case. Eventually, people are going to want to detach from technology and just go back to old school analog tactile things.
You know, Chris, when this link first came up, I thought that this was the stupidest shit that you could have ever put on the news.
And you still
Worse
think it's
than
the
that.
stupidest thing I've ever said?
And I still think this is the stupidest shit.
I fucking knew it.
I'm just kidding. Actually, that was a good point. That was a well-reasoned argument there. And all I'm going to say is, great, let's move on.
I feel like that was the equivalent of like you're in a fight with your girlfriend and you're just like, yeah, babe, you're right. You're right. Just because you want to move it along.
Pretty much.
All right, fine. Let's get into the episode.
Sometimes I do think that we are like an old married couple. And some of the commenters do agree with that.
No, we are.
I think one of the best ones that I read, and shout out to whoever this was that said it, was something like, these two guys give off the energy of like high school friends who just grew up together but secretly hate each other. And I love that.
He's even meaner to me off screen.
Oh, they don't even know. Okay, so your first watch.
My first watch. So
daily driver.
Best daily driver. Okay. So I thought about this a lot and I feel like I still stand behind my Black Bay 58 being the best daily watch that you can get. That's where I put my money. That's the daily watch that I have. That's the watch that I'm going to be taking on vacation in 2 weeks when I go on a cruise and I'm going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico, walk around. Like I'm going to have my Black Bay. And if I learned anything from my Black Bay, it's not that I would change it for anything else. It's that the Black Bay is hard to pair occasionally because of the gilt dial. As gorgeous as I find it is, sometimes it's hard to pair. So I said, what would be, if I could do it all over again, what would be a better Black Bay to buy? I even considered the Black Bay 54, right? Like the 37 millimeter one. I was like, would I get that one? And then I was like, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily. I prefer the proportions of the 39. I just think overall it is the better watch still, as much as I do like the 54. But then I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong with my 58? I'm like, I want to pair it differently and I would love for it to be slightly more special. And that's where this came up. This is relatively rare from what I know, because I can't think of that many watches made out of solid silver. Yeah. So this is a 925 solid silver watch, which for me seems like great value because the cost of silver keeps going up. So this watch eventually will have to get discontinued just off the cost of silver. It's a kind of watch.
The retail will go up.
Yeah, or the retail will go up. So again, good value as an investment piece. I find the colorway is very interesting because it's very like muted and toned down with the gray. And the analogy I'll give for that is like I own quite a lot of Jordan 1s, like Jordan 1 lows. These are the shoes that I wear all the time. And I have a bunch of pairs, all in different colors, again, to try to match my outfits. But the pair that I wear the most is this pair.
Beige?
Right? Okay. These like, they're beaten, dirty, disgusting. I wear them in the snow. I wear them every day because they're so easy to pair. The like off-white sail with the gray just goes with everything. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing. I could just throw them on and it's gonna fit. So that's where the inspiration for this watch came from, where I looked at them like this colorway literally would match in any setting. If I wanted to, because it's coming on sort of like a NATO style strap, you can just switch up the strap. Get yourself a nice, beautiful leather strap if you want to dress it up for a wedding, whatever.
I have seen a lot of people throw these on, Forester straps and different stuff as well, which the color's not going to match, right? Because silver and stainless steel are different, but
I feel embarrassed to admit, I didn't even know it had a see-through case back.
Oh, really? That's like the main selling feature for a lot of people.
I seriously didn't even know that.
It's like the only Tudor that really has one.
I didn't even know that. That's just extra value in my mind. But the funnest part for me about this watch is everybody loves to harp on buying these old vintage timepieces for the patina. Oh my God, it has the patina. It has the tropical dial. Like, you know what I mean? Like people lose their minds for this shit and they pay crazy money for this. Dude, this is a watch that's made out of silver. Silver naturally tarnishes. Yeah. So this watch will naturally patina. It'll age in patina based on, again, on how it reacts to your skin, how you wear it, where you wear it, how you touch it. All of that is going to change the way that it ages, which again is for better or for worse. It depends if you want the watch to look exactly the same forever. Then don't get this watch.
By the way, with silver tarnish, you could always fix it. There are treatments.
For sure.
There's even home remedies.
And from my understanding, this is like a proprietary formula of alloys that Tudor made so that it ages more uniformly and ages less quickly than a traditional silver like you'd have in like your mother's silverware.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Honestly, it's a good pick, man. And I agree. I mean, with the outfits that you naturally wear, I think that this could go with everything. It's like, I wouldn't say that this generally could fit with everyone's sort of, outfits necessarily, but for you tend to wear a lot of these colorways that would match perfectly.
I mean, listen, it's tough when you're building a list like this to not have your personal biases show. At the end of the day, these are like, this is where I would park my money.
Yeah.
I still recommend it, or else I wouldn't bring it onto this podcast. I do recommend people consider it. But at the end of the day, like there is a certain level of like subjectivity to this, right? If you don't like it or you don't want the aged effect, like I understand, and that's fine. That's your opinion. But I'm just saying, for me, a daily watch means certain things. A daily watch means that I can wear this thing to a pool, to the spa, on vacation, bring it into the ocean. I don't want to worry about water resistance. I don't want to worry about this thing being fragile. I want it to be built like a tank. I want to be able to smack a rock against it. So it's like, it doesn't matter if I'm going on a hike. It doesn't matter if I'm going to go do archery, if I'm going to do my skeet shooting. It doesn't matter. I want to be able to do any activity with this thing. And I just want to be able to throw it on and it's going to look great with everything. It's going to be robust. I don't want it to be too flashy, but I still want it to feel special. Like, you know what I mean? It's this combination, this perfect combination you're trying to fit of like doing so many things well, right? That's what you want it to be. You want it to do so many things well. And that's what I think a Black Bay 58 in general does. And now again, this is my improvement on mine because it's that much more special. It's that much more subtle than mine. It gets that much less attention. But if you know what it is, you'll be intrigued. That it's special because it's silver. Like, I don't know. There's something special and peculiar about this watch. Again, it has like the God proportions too, right? 39 millimeter watch. Like it's the magical size.
It is a magical size. I think on that note too, by the way, how are you enjoying your 39 millimeter?
I love my watch so much.
Awesome.
I really
quick
do.
update.
No,
for everyone.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
So that's why you're just leaning towards 39 millimeter right now.
Yes, it's also why I'm glowing.
I was gonna say, like, are you pregnant or is
I genuinely never thought I would ever love anything more than my Daytona. Like, and a part of me thought even when I got this that I would still think about that Daytona and be like, oh, one day I got to get another one. And like, it's just not the case, man. Like,
I love that.
It's so nice, bro. It's so freaking nice.
I love that.
I can't stop looking at it.
Well, on that note, guess what?
Yeah.
My daily driver pick, also 39 millimeter.
I got one last picture for you, just to show you.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you an example. So I pulled up this watch. So it's $6,700.
Yeah.
You could have the exact same watch for $5,000 if you don't mind that it's already like pre-patinaed, we'll call it.
Yeah.
It's still box papers, whatever.
You could get them even cheaper than that, by the way.
Well, there you go. So like that was kind of my point. You could save even more money because in my mind, daily driver also means relatively affordable.
Yeah.
Again, relatively. And
Well, more like I'd say take a beating, but like you don't mind beating it in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like
again, like it's like different budgets for different people. Like I get that, but I'm just saying like for me, and I've said this before, like the magic number for me, like you never have to spend more than $5,000 on a watch to get like a proper watch.
Yeah.
I've said that before, and this is kind of case in point. Here you go. Here's a solid silver watch, $5,000. You know what I mean?
I'm about to bring it even lower.
Amazing. So yeah, sorry. I just wanted to show you what this watch could look like with a bit of aging on it. So if you like scroll through the pictures, Bri. So like you could start seeing the aging on the lugs already.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if you get to, there you go.
Yeah, that's the one thing about silver, though. It's going to scratch a little brighter than stainless, too. So those marks are going to...
Well, I was reading that apparently with their proprietary formula, like it makes the silver slightly less malleable, a little bit less scratch resistant than traditional silver.
They all say that.
Well, they say that, but I mean, look at this used example. Like it's pretty decent shape, right?
Yeah, no, but it doesn't change the fact that the scratches are going to show more. And look at the tarnish. Like there is...
So that's the thing, right? Like the tarnish is not for everyone. That's why I'm showing the picture. Like for anyone who wants to consider this,
I
so they can
personally like
understand.
it. You know,
I love it.
Yeah,
I really love it. I find the way that it's aging, it kind of like the graying of the silver is filling in the brushed lines, which gives like an extra layer of character to the watch.
Yeah, and by the way, you can use like a vinegar treatment to basically fix this.
For sure, there's ways that you can treat it, but I'm just saying personally, when I look at that, it gives off a sort of like titanium hue, but with more character. Because again, that aging is really specifically in the brush strokes of the case finish. So I don't know, there's something about it that to me it looks watch, very special.
Lovely watch, good value for money, I think, on the secondary. But I think I can do a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go for it. What
So I went with the 39 millimeter pick, one that I've put my money where my mouth is on before when I was fatter on the 42 millimeter version. And this is the Longines Zulu time.
I didn't even know you owned this watch.
I owned it when I was a fat piece of shit at 42 millimeters.
You're still a fat boy at heart.
At heart, I'll always be, my friend. You might lose 50 pounds, but the weight stays in the back of your mind, believe me. Times I wake up in the morning, I go, you slob, you disgust me, you filthy animal. In any case, the watch is phenomenal. The bezel action is enjoyable. It's a true GMT. I've personally traveled. I brought this watch to Mexico with me in this variation, but 42. The 39 was released a bit later, I think a year later, maybe even less. They actually slimmed it down to a little bit in thickness, and it's a true GMT watch, right? So already finding a true GMT under $5,000 Canadian retail, or
what's the exact retail on this?
It's 4,600, I believe, CAD. It's gone up like
crazy.
Is
that a quick release on the bracelet?
Yes, quick release bracelet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, quick release bracelet. It does have a micro adjustable clasp. It's not on the fly. That's the biggest sort of gripe about it, but this thing is a strap monster. Like when I brought this to Mexico, I brought the stainless steel bracelet, which I would wear going out, I would wear like swimming, because it's got 100 meters water resistance, screw down crown. I'd wear swimming on the actual plane. It's very comfortable. But then if I was going out for the night, quick release swapped it to a leather strap. And it was suddenly just like,
It is such a gorgeous watch.
It really is, gilt
it's
aesthetic.
So beautiful.
Gilt aesthetic, anthracite dial. It's got these kind of, the hands as well matching the gilt aesthetic. Obviously, like I said, true GMT. It's an in-house movement in the sense that Longines owned by Swatch Group. Swatch Group owns ETA. There's a specific section in the ETA factory that's basically just proprietary to Longines. So they modify and, manipulate the movements there basically. So in that sense, it's in-house. I don't really qualify it as totally in-house, but it's a very easy to service caliber, 72-hour power reserve, silicone hairspring. So actually very magnetic resistant. So it's like, if I think beater, this is a watch that nobody's going to like say, oh, hey, look at that guy. He's wearing a Zulu time, like a someone who's going to rob you. Mm-hmm. So wearing this in Mexico, I had no problem. It doesn't really look like anything much, but to those who know, you can tell the finishing on this watch is really, really great.
Yeah.
And I think, best part about it, I'm not going to go super crazy into it. For me, first of all, by the way, 42 millimeter version, I think the lug design was too big. It it like overhung my wrist. At that point, I had like a 7.6 inch wrist. Now the 39 is like perfect. Yeah, like super ergonomic. The guy even looks like me.
I was gonna say there's something
classic white
there's
guy.
something funny about the guy they chose for the ad and the pose that he has. Like
he does have a very sensual. That's kind of the face that I made.
This is not. Like, no offense to this guy, a very handsome guy, but I'm just saying, like, the pose he's striking and the face that he has on.
He's on the beach.
Is not the kind of face that I need to convince me to buy this watch. Like, I see this and it just feels weird.
He's on the beach right now. He's watching some fine honeys walking by him in bikinis. He's definitely a creep.
No, it's weird. It's a weird photo. Like, I see another photo where it's just like a close-up of like somebody wearing a suit and their hand. That's a much better photo.
Yeah. Hey, it's you.
That's my fucking cousin, racist.
Jeez, I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
I actually don't see race. I was just saying that her wrists were very small. So I don't know what you're talking
You're doubling
about.
down on the insult?
Look at that. Dressed up. Looks amazing. The green hue to the bezel. Back to watches, by the way. We just skip right past that. The green hue on the bezel. Awesome, right? I mean, the watch was really, really great to handle. I loved it. I rotate watches. Like I always have a beater that I might rotate, but this is one that I really want to keep stably in the collection. 39 especially. The blue is really, really sweet too. Blue on blue. Plenty of variations. They even have a titanium, which just came out. So it's worth mentioning that as well. Best part about it, Brian, if we skip links, I think... No, never mind. Okay, well, in any case, on the secondary market, these can be had around 3,000 Canadian, about 200, 2,300 US.
Okay, so So these are my thoughts actually.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really love the choice. Very hard to fault. It's such a gorgeous watch. I really like what they've done with the bezel. I really like the notch style around the bezel. I like the hands.
Yeah, hands are great.
I like the green. I like the matte black dot. Like everything about it. The crown, the case, the lugs. Like I literally can't fault the design in any way, other than the exact criticism that I just applied to my Black Bay 58 gilt dial, which is because of the green, because of the gilt, it's hard to match. Right?
If we could just click
so
the
for
X,
example,
Brian.
like it would match your outfit right now, but it wouldn't match mine.
So click the
Like
X
that's the only flaw that I have with
Scroll
it.
up a little bit. Okay, so you see the variations down there, Brydog? So just click, not that one because that's the same variation, but the one next to it. Yeah, just click that. Okay, so here it is with black on black with a hint of blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is more neutral and could probably fit more outfits.
Yeah.
But now it looks less special.
Well, click the plus button there, Brydog, actually. And we'll find the more variations right up there. Yeah. Okay. So click the one next to that one on the right. But anyway, you're blue on blue. So sunburst blue on blue. Very, very attractive in person. It's a lot more subdued. It's not so bright in your face.
Yeah.
But they also have really great variation.
Well, that's a great counter argument. The fact that there are different colors. Yeah.
Scroll down again, Brian. Sorry, I hate to do this to you. Click the plus button. Okay. So the one next to that one on the left. That one, yeah, click it. All right, so here's a blueberry variation too, which is really cool.
Oof,
so
that is pretty good, actually.
Counter to the green, if you want like a...
That is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So then I only have one criticism left, which is, and it's not fully founded, and I know you're going to yell at me for it.
Go for it. Can't wait.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm for getting ripped apart, but I have this mental block of spending... What's the retail on this about? Just under $5,000. Like I have... a mental block on spending $5,000 on a Longines, because for me, in my mind, they're $1,000 watches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the mental block.
That's a you problem, man.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just telling you personally my interpretation.
But that's why
like
it's like at $3,000 or $3,300.
Now, having said that, exactly. I was going to say the counter argument is get it on the secondary. If you're paying $2,500 or $3,000, so already you're making that more palatable. One. And technically, it's a catch-22, what I'm saying. Yes, I'm having trouble swallowing that idea of spending that on a Longines, but it's not like it's not worth the money. One, even I know that. And two, to your point, you travel with that watch, nobody thinks it's worth over a couple $100.
There you go. And it's a beautiful watch that actually the people that I met on that trip, was there for a wedding. The people that liked watches, when they looked at it up close, they said, "Oh my God, this is awesome. Like, where can I get one of these?"
Yeah.
And at the time I had bought for the 42 millimeter version, I paid like 2,600 Canadian for it because retail's just gone up, and all that.
Right.
But so it was like a no brainer, right? Now, one thing about it too, the 39 millimeter variation is awesome. It's slimmer. I think I mentioned that already. Best thing about it though is because what's a direct, counterpoint to this watch that you're speaking about? Oh, I don't want to spend this much money. It's a Black Bay GMT, the new release, right? The 58 actually, right?
Yeah.
So because the 41 is pretty much unwearable. It's actually worse dimensions.
Yes, I agree.
Because it's so much thicker. It's really, really hard to pull that watch off. Just naturally, the bracelet's really thick and chunky. I preferred wearing the 42 mil. Even Fat Julien preferred the 42 Zulu time to a Black Bay 41 GMT.
Right.
So imagine that. So good old days, by the way. The 39 is a direct contrast to the Black Bay 58 Coke GMT, which is also a thick girl, but double the price, even on the secondary, right? Like $3,000 for these secondary, $6,000 for the
That's
Coke.
I was just thinking, yeah.
Retail's even higher, right? And by the way, both true GMTs. Yes, the Tudor is going to have an upgraded level of like movement quality, but more expensive service. I feel like the dial finishing is identical. Having handled the watch for a long time, the 42, the finishing was incredible. The bezel action, I haven't played. Well, no, you know what? The bezel action is a lot better. It's a more satisfying sort of click style, like a real GMT Master, Rolex, as opposed to like the Tudor GMT, which is a more clicky, less. It has a different
I've never
feel.
tried it on the Zulu, but I do like it on my Black Bay. I find it pretty good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like in terms of the GMT styling, right? The GMT bracelet is unidirectional, right?
Yeah,
or bidirectional. Sorry. So it's it's a bit. It's not like a solid diver click.
Yeah, it's not the same,
It's like it goes either way, and it's like that solid. When you handle a GMT2, it has that sort of. It just feels like there's a proper position for each. I don't know how to describe it. Without having
fair enough.
But in any case, that's my pick for my favorite daily driver.
So I think that was a pretty fair exchange of blows, honestly. Like, I think I could call that first round a draw. So
yeah.
Right?
I don't think we're in a battle on this. I think it's kind of
everything's
subjective.
a competition between us, but whatever.
Okay, Mr. High School friend who I secretly hate.
All right, let's move on to round 2. Best value.
Best value. Hey, value kind of reminds me of something.
No, don't do it.
I think value, I think money.
No.
I think value, I think value retention. I think, hey, bang for your buck. I think we need to make money to afford watches. How in the gosh heck do we do that, Chris?
I don't know, Julien.
We use OVTLYR. Proud sponsor for this episode and every other that came before this one. The great guys at OVTLYR have sponsored us once again. Somehow, these ad reads have not pissed them off to the point where
we really have to get better at this.
I think we're great at it. No, but in all seriousness, the great folks at OVTLYR have sponsored us once again. Their proprietary algorithm is unbelievably good. It's a great predictor. I've been using the tool now for a bit, and I've already seen that it is very good. It makes it super seamless. Even for
I
an idiot
actually
like me.
find the best part about it is the community. There's such a level of transparency to this group that I think is absolutely is noteworthy. Chris, their CMO, not only does he create fantastic videos and have a million of them online that are completely free and open to the public to not only learn how to trade properly, but seeing their tool in action, but their private Discord allows access to a community of people that are trying to make money using that tool.
Sharing live results too. I mean, that's a big part of the Discord. I get all the time different people who are trying to pull different strategies, breach off from what Chris is doing and just use the tool in their own way and posting, their trades, exactly what they're doing. If you find a guy in the community that you think is, hey, I like the way that he trades, you can just jump on what he's doing and he's publishing it. He's telling you when he's selling. And, otherwise Chris is doing that, whether that's publicly or through that private Discord.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
The tool itself is very, very easy to use. Honestly, I've gotten the hang of it now. I'm understanding all of its metrics, all of the risk factors. They've got a great sidebar for news too. They break it down. When you click a certain
whenever
sector,
you're ready, you can use all of this money and buy me a new watch. I'd really appreciate it.
Chris, why don't you just shoot me to your best value pick and we'll see if I can
Anyways,
afford
guys,
it.
if you are interested, there's going to be a link below.
Thank
all right,
you.
let's go back to best value. So, my pick.
Interesting.
Interesting, right? So, Okay.
I would never buy this thing at retail. This is kind of a stupid pick. Let me just cut you off before.
You can't. What? You didn't even give me a chance.
It's a time only
just
Frederique Constant for $3,000. You're a fool if you buy this.
Hold on, Charlie Brown.
Oh, it's car related. Do you want me to take a walk so you can talk about cars?
I welcome your criticism, sir.
Yeah.
But you have to at least give me a chance to make my pitch and case about why I'm choosing this
I think
watch.
the best part is there's buttons. Make your case. It's a fine watch. Go on, make your case.
All right. This is my pitch. You've been talking a lot about Frederique Constant, which has gotten my attention. Okay?
It's got a car on it. Of course it's worth $3,000. It's got a car on it. It's made for you.
Bro, can I just let me be a simple bitch? Okay. What's wrong with that?
Okay, sorry.
I own it. I am who I am. I love myself. Let me be.
I love you, Chris. I love you just the way you are.
Let me say my case. You've been convincing me of how great the value is on a Frederique Constant.
Yes.
I know nothing. Absolutely nothing about this watch brand other than what you've been teaching me.
But this is your pay for best value.
Just, can you let me make my case, man? You've been convincing me to consider a Frederique Constant. Every single time you pull one up on this podcast, I always think, wow, what a beautiful watch. Wow, what a beautiful watch. You have yet to show me a watch that I genuinely don't think looks incredible. And I've been saying this. I find these watches look like Pateks. Like you pull them up, I'm just like, the design is so like classic, so nice, so elegant. So I went on their website. I found this one that spoke to me. I like the dark green dial. I like the red secondhand. I like that this one's based on like an Austin Healey collaboration. Not particularly a car that I'm crazy about, but I like the automotive inspiration because I'm a simple bitch. Yes. But I'm just saying, I like the watch. I even took the time to find it on the secondary. So I found it on the secondary.
It's got to be like $1,500.
Not so much, but
that's too much money for it.
Whatever. It's brand new, right? So I'm just saying, like, same watch on chrono, you're already saving close to $1,000.
So fun story for
you.
you.
On a brand new watch, new, like it's in the box.
I've got this client of mine who's a cruise ship liquidator. He owns a company that buys. So basically, cruise ships have certain contracts with lots of brands to carry inventory.
Sure.
But what happens is because of new contract fulfillments, they need to liquidate all of the stock after a certain period, usually of like, a few tours. They base it on like the amount of times the cruise ship goes and, whatever. If you're taking Norwegian or whatever, it might be 3 months. It might be however many tours they do. And then they liquidate all that stock. He owns a company that buys out all these stocks. And back in the day when I was selling a lot of the more affordable stuff, I was constantly buying FCs from him because he would sell them to me for like an 80% discount or 90% discount. And those kinds of deals can still happen because a lot of these watches were first marketed, especially like this sort of stuff. I mean, like the vintage rally, this is not really like necessarily part of their watch geek sort of collection. This is part of their standard, produce it for a more general audience. Like there's a reason why you don't see the proprietary caliber on the back. They put an engraving. Mm-hmm. It's COSC certified, but it's probably just an ETA based movement. So it's fine, but that's what I'm saying. Like you could pick this up probably for $1,500 or $1,000. And I love that you looked at the website and found one that spoke to you.
Well, so it's funny. So like when I was choosing this watch, in my mind, I was making a case from a value proposition of not specifically this model.
Okay. Fair.
Right. This is just a model that spoke to me aesthetically. But the thinking that I genuinely had was, what's a watch that if someone walked up to me and was like, hey, what watch brand should I consider if I want like really the best value right now? And that's when I was just thinking of all the times that you've been like drilling into my head that Frederique Constant is so like, it's such great value, especially on the secondary, especially secondhand or at these liquidation prices. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, that was my thinking. I'm like, let me go and show an example of something really cool. So
the only thing, Chris, is that the reason why I was dying laughing so much was that for all of that premise, you picked the one watch that does not fit that bill. It's got no complication. It's got nothing interesting happening. It's some bullshit collaboration I never heard of.
Again,
laser engraved case back.
Hold on.
Like,
keep in mind though. Keep in mind, again, I did say there's a certain level of subjectivity to all of this stuff.
Yes.
And subjectively, I'm a very simple boy.
Yes, but objectively, this is not a good value watch. like what I was talking about was like the slimline moon phase.
Yes.
Great, you know. I was talking about the world timer. Great. You know, I was talking about the high life, you know, which is just a fun budget alternative to like Royal Oaks and Nautilus. And
but my advice still stands. Go buy one of those. You don't have to buy specifically the one that I'm just choosing this because I like the design.
Right. But for $2,000, you can find something better from another brand, is my point. Versus like you can't find a cheaper world timer, you know, otherwise,
okay, that's
right?
fair.
That's where I'm getting at.
Okay, I might have lost this round.
Like you may as well just get like there's a Tissot that looks almost identical to this, but it's gonna be a better watch actually.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like this isn't part of their higher tier. This is more of their mass produced, sell it to some cruise ships, and like they're gonna like put it on sale at the cruise ship for like 40% off.
Right.
Like, yeah. So
okay, well, I lost this round, but I've learned a lot, and I'd like to learn even more.
Yeah.
So can you tell me more about Frederique Constant 1? Because I don't really know much about the company.
Yeah, so it was started in the 90s or maybe the late 80s. It's a very new brand. You know, it was independent at the start, but it was actually bought out by Citizen Group. So it's technically of Japanese ownership. When Citizen Group took it over, though, they made some great moves in terms
says Swiss
of...
made on the dial.
What's that?
It says Swiss made on the dial.
Because the factory is in Switzerland, smart guy. You gonna let me educate you, or are you gonna try and cut me off like I was doing
just making
to you?
sure
like,
you got your facts.
Like I was doing to you like 10
you
seconds
don't like
ago.
it back, huh?
I'm a hypocrite, Chris.
All right, keep going.
The brand made some really great strides, and especially in the most recent years, Citizen Group, for whatever reason, just said, you know what? Let's do something interesting and prove to people that we can compete. We can compete with the likes of Tissot and Longines. We can punch this brand above its weight. If you remember the Christmas episode, I talked about how they introduced a bunch of stone dials into these sorts of collections. You know, well, the World Timer, and you know, like they do these interesting moves. They've released a new line of tourbillons for crazy cheap money, right? Flying turbs for like no money at all, which are, you know, tourbillons all the same. It's like very impressive, you know, ultra thin perpetual calendars. Like when it comes to the realm of like, I don't even know what got them so excited about saying, hey, let's make high complications that are so unattainable for average people. Let's try and package them up so that people can afford them even at retail. Like you're talking about a perpetual calendar for like 10 grand. Where do you get that at retail? You know what I mean? Like you just don't. And the finishing is pretty good. Like you have to think of it as like a high complication with Tissot or Longines level, you know, finishing, the upper levels of those brands. Okay, right. So that's kind of where they line. Honestly, yeah, I can't say anything negative about a brand. They still do produce models of that old mentality though, which are like this, which is you know, cruise ship style, which drives their business. You know? So it's like anything. But honestly,
so I lost this round without even hearing your pick. Basically, is what you're saying.
Well,
I
listen,
dropped the ball.
My pick's kind of interesting. I had to go somewhere
before
different.
you do, I have one last question.
Yeah.
Would you ever buy a watch on a cruise ship?
No.
You just said they're on sale. They're liquidation.
Yeah, man. But it's like if they're 40% off on the cruise ship, the retail price, they somehow manage to raise it and drop it. You know what I mean? It's like there's all these kinds of scams that cruise ships pull. It's generally no.
Okay.
There's always some sort of scam, right? People are like, I bought a Rolex on this high-end cruise ship. They had every model. And it's like, how much did you pay for it? Oh, I paid $25,000. It's like, you just bought the certified pre-owned. You bought a CPO watch. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, what? You could buy Rolex on a cruise? I thought you could mainly buy like Invictas.
There's some luxury cruise lines that carry Rolex on board.
Right.
Yeah. So even on the higher end is what I'm saying. You're still getting fucked.
Right.
So no, just stay away. Just in general, don't buy it. Okay. Buy it from the guy who buys out all their garbage stock for literally pennies
where do I
on the dollar.
find that guy?
Well, you got to know me.
I gotta know you?
I'll hook you up.
Okay, so in other words, if I ever want a Frederique Constant, I should just be like,
yeah,
dude, what can you get
message
me?
me? I'll get you one.
All right, fair enough.
There you go.
Okay, but what about the audience? How do they get one?
Listen, they got to
like
find a guy
shop?
like me. Find a guy like me, man. No, honestly, yeah, Joma Shop's good. Just check your local pre-owned dealers. Check your local ADs. They'll probably give you a pretty big discount if they carry the brand. Like they can go up to like 40%. You know, so
all right.
In reality, yeah.
So what's your pick?
My best value pick, which is one that I've talked about, but this exact variation I don't think I talked about. Panomatic Lunar. Okay, and this is a very specific edition which was released by Glashutte to mark the 180th anniversary of the brand. Now, In general, I'm going to talk more about the Panomatic Lunar, the stainless steel edition, which can be had on the secondary for like 10 grand, comes in a bunch of variations. But this one, even though it's a lot more expensive, the retail's $45,000, is still a great value buy at retail. If you consider that the Allungazzona moon phase, that would be like non-aventurine and platinum, is double the price at retail.
Right.
2 times the price. Do I think it's 2 times the watch? No. So let's talk about this release. This was just released 2025, late 2025, to mark the 180th. What do we have going on? Well, we have a newly introduced caliber by Glashutte. If we scroll, Brian. So this was designed just for this watch with a higher level of finish. It's much thinner. Okay. The watch as a whole is thinner. The caliber is thinner.
I'm so confused. What's happening? Is my nose bleeding?
No.
Okay. Did we jump to the last category of like best design?
No. This is best value, my friend.
You're showing me a $45,000 watch in the category of best value?
Well, this is an example, but I'm going to talk about just give me some space.
What
We're
is
both
happening
fambling
right now?
around this
I'm
one, okay?
so confused.
This watch is great value. And listen, great value can come at any price point.
How much money are you making with OVTLYR?
Yeah, listen, man, I run the sponsorships. Don't worry about that. You'll get your piece.
Wow. Okay, sorry.
I'm going to walk in wearing the watch. I'm going to walk in with a grill
Best
next
value.
episode.
Showing me a $45,000 watch. Like, genuinely, for the first 2 minutes you were talking, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that is a really beautiful watch. Like, yeah, good job on best design. Like,
no, not even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, bro.
Again, if you want this from Allunga, so here's why. I have a client of mine that has a data graph. Okay, he has a Allungazzona data graph, and he goes, Julien, I want to get a Longa 1 moon phase, but I'm gonna have to save up, maybe sell something, because we're talking about a watch that's like $60,000-$70,000 on the secondary. And in a retail, it's like 90 plus tax. And I turn to him and I go, why would you do that? Like based on the state of your exact collection, I would just get a Glashutte. And I didn't even recommend this one, but I said, just get a Glashutte, man. Get a Panomatic standard and spend 10 grand on it. Take the rest of that money and play with some different watches. Like that's a huge savings. This watch I'm bringing up just because I brought this up in conversation to say, do you know what's a crazy thing? I would rather buy this than the Longa 1 moon phase platinum for 10,000 more on the market. I would still take this.
Why?
I would pay retail for this rather than buy secondary on the Longa 1 moon phase. Why? The caliber is 100-hour power reserve. Okay. A lot of hand finish going on. I think the finishing is like 95% of Longas. You're getting a aventurine dial, so you're getting an interesting dial. You're getting some texture to it. I prefer the layout of the moon phase. I prefer the placement of everything. I prefer the architecture of the overall movement, the way it's just symmetrical and it looks. It's automatic instead of just being manual on the Longa. So to me, as I was describing why this watch and why it was such a cool release, especially being a limited edition of 180 pieces, so there will be collectability to this watch for sure, and being solid platinum, by the way, it doesn't hurt to be precious metal. I was like, man, this is a great value watch for this caliber of watch that you're looking for. But, Brian, if we skip links now to the next link, this is more what I'm talking about when I talk about best value market. Here's a listing on Chrono for a green standard variation 40mm. So not that super highly finished movement, but a great movement nonetheless. Guys, Brian, if we skip through the picks, here's kind of the more general consumer advice for the audience in our channel here. Look, man, in-house, it's a Swatch Group ownership watch. It's got a long warranty life. It's got a ground date. You can find them used for 10 grand. The retail is like 15, which even at that is a great value buy. Look at the movement finishing. Instead of being manual, it's still automatic. You've got a half rotor basically happening.
The movement finishing is insane at that price.
Yeah, look at the balance cock, dude. How many times do I have to say that before you finally pay attention and, bring it up yourself?
What's your obsession with cocks? I don't get it.
It's balance cock, man. Get your head out the gutter. There's a lot going on with this watch. Probably the biggest gripe with the standard is it's a 42-hour power reserve, which is a bit lacking. But honestly, man, I sold a silver dial for $8,500. How stupid is that?
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see it.
For me, I could go on and on about this brand. The overall finishing, I loop the dial like crazy. It's so impressive at this price point what they managed to produce. The 180th special edition, limited edition, that's a different ballpark. That's for someone that's like looking for value in a different place. I brought it up first so that you could kind of rip me a little bit. But this is more standard consumer advice. This is a watch that I'd advise you to buy. You know what I mean? And I'm going to own one in the stable collection at some point once things start looking up for me.
How big is it?
40 millimeters.
It looks much larger than that in the photo.
It's not. It's really not. It wears more like a 41, I'd say, honestly.
It's a pretty interesting watch, actually. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Not particularly.
You do look like you're in love, man.
No.
All right, what's your
It's
pick,
interesting,
man?
but I don't know. Not for me, I guess. But I guess I can understand the appeal, especially from like a finishing perspective and a complication perspective. I see that. I had a quick question for you about the aventurine dial.
Yes.
So I know what an aventurine dial is, aesthetically speaking.
Sparkly.
Yes. Are all aventurine dials made the same? Is the manufacturing process the same?
It's very similar, yeah.
It's very similar? And what is that process exactly?
Well, it's
what makes it special other than the fact that it looks like a starry night?
That's pretty much what makes it special. Honestly, it's crystal, you know. Crystal is crystal. It's you can select different pieces of it essentially, and you can kind of fine tune it to get a different shade as well.
Right.
So like the Zelos that I have,
aventurine dials, kind of like meteorite dials, and like they're all slightly unique.
Yeah, of course, they're all going to be totally unique. And that's any stone dial. Technically, the patterns are going to be totally unique.
Aventurine dial is considered a stone dial?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's a stone?
Because it's a stone.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
What?
It's a stone, man. Let's just go to your.
I'm trying
what's your
to
best
educate
design?
myself, okay?
What's your best design pick, Chris? Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
A compliment.
Yeah.
It only took about an hour of talking. Cool.
Of course, you'd pick the Rolex rip-off version of the.
I'm so simple-minded. It's
Speedmaster.
so bad. Okay, so this needs no introduction. Everyone's talking about it. It's all over the place. It's all over the internet.
Gorgeous.
Everywhere on Instagram. It's the brand new reverse Panda Omega Speedmaster.
How far have you come? Remember when we did that episode of the white Speedy versus your Daytona?
Yeah.
And you're picking this as the best design. Wow. Somebody go back and listen to everything that Chris had to say in the design portion of that head-to-head. Because, wow, how far you've come, my friend. Selling that Daytona, bringing up an Omega as the best design.
Hold on.
It's amazing.
Just so we're on the same page, I still think a Rolex Daytona is nicer.
Oh, God. What the fuck is this list?
just so we're on the same page, okay. I still think a Rolex Daytona is nicer. The reason why I'm showing this, again, I'm a simple boy, okay? A man of simple taste. I'm cliche in the fact that for me, there's something so beautiful about a chronograph. Again, why a Rolex Daytona is my favorite watch. I am also fed up, though, of suggesting the Rolex Daytona in any context, whether for myself or for anyone else, because then it's like it's unobtainium. It's like it's just part of like a fantasy now, you know, like it's ridiculous to think about anymore because it's just like, it's not even you don't have a chance of ever getting one at retail. It's just not a thing, you know? So because of that, that's where I think the credibility adds so much to this. And I find that this watch really addresses all of the design concerns that I've always had against the Speedmaster. So I still, you know, don't particularly appreciate the fact that it's 42 millimeters in diameter. I think that's still too big. I think this one's still too thick, especially this model, because by adding, so basically the dial has like an extra, boom. I don't know if you just saw that in that photo, but the sub dial has like an extra like step to it.
Yeah.
Which looks incredible. It adds like a complex depth to the dial. But by adding that depth, they had to make this watch even thicker. So even though it's a manual wound watch, it's thicker than the Daytona. And now this one's an extra 0.5 millimeters thicker than the already standard and pretty thick Speedmaster. So again, I don't think as much as it breaks my heart, I don't think I could pull off this watch, but I'd be the first one I'd be lying if I said that this watch is not absolutely gorgeous. So from a design perspective, I think the reverse subdials just look great.
Yeah.
Like even if it's Daytona-esque, it just looks so good. I think what they did with the hands is great. So if you look at a traditional Speedmaster, they always whiten the hands, right? Like the original, and they do that for legibility. But it cheapens the look of the watch, I find, because the hands kind of lose the high-end finishing and the polished surfaces because they're all like coated. And on the white dial, it was really nice, but then they blacken the hands, which gives great contrast for legibility, but again, doesn't look quite as nice as the hands on a Daytona, where you don't have that problem on this. So here you have these beautiful polished hands. You have that incredible depth that's added by recessing all of these subdials. You have a dial, from what the photos indicate anyways, that's now a gloss black instead of a matte black on the traditional black Speedmaster sandwich. And overall, it lends to just like, oh, and I think this one now has a ceramic bezel, if I'm not mistaken. So there's now a ceramic bezel, which again adds a little bit of like gloss and luster and shine and shimmer to the watch. So overall, it just elevates the Speedmaster that much more. So when I first saw this, I just melted. I was like, wow, like that is an incredible looking watch. They increased the retail a little bit on these compared to the standard one. I don't remember exactly how much more it was. I want to say like in the realm of like $1,500, something like that. But yeah, so it's 13 just for fun. Can we go click on the other one?
Standard. I didn't realize.
Yeah, click the
I think
plus
it's 11
18 there. Yeah, right
11.9. Yeah, 11.6. Okay, 11.6 for the standard.
11.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so spot on. Like about $1,500 difference.
I don't love that personally. I mean, I don't think the price increase is super justified.
Well,
I think it's a gorgeous watch.
It's justified in the sense that if you make this variant and don't charge more, you'll never sell the previous one. In my opinion.
I honestly, this might be a hot take, but I'd still take the white Speedy over this.
Oh, would you? Oh, I would not.
Personally. But
No.
You know what? I haven't seen one in person, haven't handled one, but I do think that I would take the white Speedy.
I like the white Speedy. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice watch, but there's something off about the white Speedy. Like the thing with the Speedmaster is the bezel's thin, the dial's nice and big, and with the black and white, that contrast just makes the face look disproportionate somehow, and it just doesn't look like, especially in person, it just doesn't look as nice as a Daytona. But Hodinkee released a little short on their Instagram where they were holding the latest Daytona reference and this latest Speedmaster reference, and side by side you can see that, like, for once the Speedmaster is exchanging blows in terms of like beauty, you know. And
see, that's where you're losing me, because I argued in the Daytona head-to-head with you that this is a beautiful watch, and it definitely held its own. I gave the edge to the wearability of the Daytona.
Right.
That's really where Daytona wins. I mean, it is a far better wearable watch. I think it's just kind of is like the Daytona is one of the best designed watches of all time. Like there's no question of that. For all the
that's what I'm
hate I
saying.
give
And you
Rolex,
think that this is as nice as the Daytona? No,
I wouldn't say as nice.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But now I'm telling you, it is. This one,
really?
Yeah,
you think so?
This one is as nice as a Daytona.
Wow.
In my opinion, it's just as nice.
I would be excited to see.
If this watch would have been 40 millimeters,
perfect.
I would have went to go see Leon, and I would have put my name on it, and I would have got one.
Yeah.
You know, especially like this is a watch that's actually obtainable. I can get the free financing on it, which most boutiques offer. So it's like I'm getting free financing on it, picking up at retail. It's probably going to more or less hold its value. Like I have no reason not to get it. Other than now, unfortunately, from a wearability perspective, for me, that it just wouldn't fit.
I would never
But again,
recommend.
this is just like pure design, and if you have a slightly larger wrist, you could pull it off. And
if you want the 80 experience, definitely go to a guy like Leon. He's the best. But in terms of value retention, this watch, like the white Speedy, is going to drop in a few months because Omega just produces enough.
Refresh my memory. How much is a white Speedy on the secondary now?
Now it's right around, let's call it $9,500, 10,000 Canadian. So the drop after tax is like $3,000.
Okay.
So I mean, it'll take a few months. Like if you manage to get one now,
a little bit more because the watch is $1150 plus tax.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay.
In this case, I saw the first one come to market on the secondary already, and it was $12,000 US. And that was the day it was released. The day it was released.
How?
because Omega basically ships these out to 80s before even the official release.
So basically somebody bought a ticket home, was like, it's not as nice as I think it is, and let me sell it. And
more
lose money?
like they were like, I'll take some profit. Keep in mind, that was 12,000 US, which is like 16,000 Canadian.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like they took it home and just like immediately lost $1,000 of value.
Oh, no. They sold it for 12 US.
Okay.
Yeah. So they made some profit, like not even a crazy amount. They would have, well, it was in the States, so sales tax different there, but still.
Anyways, look, pricing. In this category, just to say, the point was to choose a beautiful watch, right? Best designed watch. Where would I go put my money right now if I wanted something that just looked gorgeous? And it's never happened, actually. I've never got excited about a Speedmaster. I sort of got excited about the wide dial, and then like that just faded. But now I am obsessed with the Speedmaster, and I want one.
You know what, Chris? That's a beautiful thing. I love that. I can't wait till we go and check one out. Maybe we film an episode at Leon's
that'd be
spot.
Really exciting, yeah.
We go check it out.
Down.
My pick is a little different.
Okay.
I went for something that was released in 2024.
Jesus Christ.
That I think
Jesus Christ,
one
man.
of the coolest versions.
How do you ever insult me with a straight face, bro?
In what way am I insulting you?
You insult my choices, and then you go out and you choose a watch that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, bro.
It's so cool, man.
No, it's not. What is that monstrosity?
It's the Streamliner.
A what?
Streamliner. H. Moser, man. Bryden, open your horizons, my friend. Open your third eye of watches and start to experience the true beauty of horology.
Okay, what's an H. Moser? It sounds like a train company.
What's an H. Moser?
Do they make
Only
trains?
One of the best fully vertically integrated manufacturers of watches in the world.
So they don't make trains?
No, they don't make trains.
Do they have like a lineage of in the past they made trains, or like clocks for trains?
No. It's one of the best independent brands on the market. They push the envelope. They produce.
Looks so stupid. Did you see that close up? There's like loom hanging on. There's like loom hanging off the hand.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up! Did you see that in the promo? They showed
it's a train.
Like a train. Oh,
it's
why?
a Streamliner because it's meant to reflect early automotive and train stuff. That's the whole design of the watch. That's why you got train from it. It's like steampunk, dude. It's cool. It's fucking cool.
Bro, what are you, a steampunk guy? Do you dress up? Oh my god, do you dress up in like steampunk and like go to the park?
I wear the goggles, Chris, and this watch would perfectly complement my big retarded hat.
With the goggles and your big top hat, I agree.
Yeah.
But now you're genuinely going to look at me with a straight face and tell me that this is a beautiful watch. The nicest design watch.
Yes.
That you would go put your money on.
You know, I sold one last week, and I unfortunately didn't get a chance to bring you this, but this bracelet in person is probably the coolest integrated bracelet I've ever handled.
You were just telling me before starting the podcast that you were trashed this weekend at a ski trip. Trashed.
True. That's true.
Okay? Trashed.
Correct.
And now you come in and you show me this. Yes. You don't think I'm going to draw a parallel towards the fact that you were trash / hungover and doing your homework for this episode, and now you're coming with this?
No, because I love this watch.
How much is it?
79,000 Swiss francs. That's about 100,000, 120,000 Canadian.
Brian, can you scroll up for 2 seconds? No, down. I just wanted to see like a little bit lower, lower. There.
Yeah.
How thick is it?
It's not that thick. Scroll up, Brian. I think it's like 11 millimeters.
What? How the hell?
Stop right there. 40 millimeter.
Dude, it can't be. It look as thick as my thumb.
I don't know why it's not showing. Let's do a quick live.
Okay. Anyways, the
live
skeletonization looks great. The movement looks great. I'm sure in some quirky, weird way that I can't understand. It's an amazing watch that's built to some crazy high standard. That's actually way better than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. But if we stray away from all of that, because now you're in my territory, we're not in like complications world where I don't know what the freak I'm talking about, and we just talk about like fancy things that go over my head. We're just talking about design.
Yeah, design is amazing on this watch.
No, it's not.
It's unbelievable.
It's really not, dude. If you did a poll, actually we should do a poll. okay, and like have people comment on this. There's no way.
There have been many commenters who bring up H. Moser.
I will bet. No, forget H. Moser as a brand. I'm not qualified to talk to you about the Train brand. So I'm not going to try to make that argument because I'm going to lose.
I can't wait until you get roasted in the comments by people calling you a fool for talking ill on H. Moser. It's one of the most highly regarded brands.
I'm just saying, as
this
someone
model,
who
by the way,
doesn't know what an H. Moser is, it sounds like a train company. That's all I said.
Man, okay.
So do you know? Now I'm saying,
do you know what MB and F is?
A what?
MB and F. Max Busser and Friends.
No.
Talking to a vegetable right now. I'm talking to an innate object that knows nothing and says nothing, knows only Rolex.
But I like pretty things. And that makes me overly qualified to tell you that this thing is not a pretty thing, Julien. This is not pretty.
Can I actually talk about the watch now?
I don't. Are you done? I'd rather you don't. I'd rather you don't.
Okay.
But for like the
if you saw as a car guy
love this train company, I'm sure they want to hear you talk about this.
As a car guy, Chris, if you got to handle this bracelet in person, you would understand that it's a fucking impressive piece of engineering. Okay.
The bracelet you're talking about now?
The bracelet.
Why?
Just specifically the bracelet. The Streamliner bracelet is one of the, I'll stake it. It's like the coolest integrated bracelet right now on the market. It is so cool. It is such a diversion from all the standard Royal Oak bullshit.
Because the articulation is unique in the sense that there's no gaps between the links.
The way that they managed to engineer this thing to fit together as one solid bracelet, it's insane. I have no idea how they did it. The level of finishing in between the links, up close, the finishing of the overall, everything, man. Like everything. It's like hard to even put a...
Actually, you know what? I might eat my words. Can you scroll up just a little bit? I want to see the picture on the wrist.
Yeah. Look at how seamlessly it's integrated. The finishing in between each link.
It looks better on the wrist. Okay, I'll give you that. It does look better on the wrist.
Unbelievable.
It's still a freaking weird looking watch. I haven't even talked. It's still weird.
Dude,
it's still
I haven't even had a chance to talk about like some of the technical aspects of the movement, the level of finishing to the overall movement. Yes, this is a ridiculously expensive variation, but I wanted to talk more about the standard Streamliner just because it really blew me away. I've sold two before. The first one was like an in and out thing, but the other one was pre-owned. So I got to even try it on and look at it. And man, oh man, this thing is insane in person, man. First of all, it's a 70s inspired watch. The idea of the bracelet was, have you ever seen, like maybe your grandfather had one of those stretchy bracelets that everyone used to put on their watches that were like not really metal. They were almost like, they like pulled apart essentially.
Yeah, I have a watch like
elastic,
that.
Right. That's essentially the inspiration of this, but it's solid metal. No company ever really made a bracelet that was similar to this.
Sorry, it is stretchy or it's not stretchy?
Not stretchy. It's solid bracelet. Super solid design.
Sorry,
okay?
So they drew inspiration from a slinky bracelet?
They drew inspiration from, you remember how I talk often about how a lot of brands that are independents play on the heritage of early watchmaking and the golden age of watchmaking and all that. Laurent Ferrier was a great example. They do it for like the 1900s and the late 1800s at pocket watches.
Right.
They do really early sort of play-ons. H. Moser does like 70s. They play on that and they make it modern. They're the same brand that was famous for, remember the Apple Watch? Have you ever heard about that? They made this watch that was the same exact case.
Yes.
But blacked out, and it was a tourbillon on the back.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so that was H. Moser.
Which was a stupid watch, by the way.
I thought it was fucking genius. So cool.
What is genius about making it was like super expensive, like retarded number.
Well, yeah,
no?
Because it's a crazy
like $100,000 something.
Yeah. First of all, the choice of dial, the onyx black dial.
You're missing the point. Am I right? It was like $100,000 for that watch?
Well, the standard,
it was
the
some ridiculous
tourbillon,
amount.
like the complications were that expensive.
Okay, perfect. It's a $100,000 watch that looks like a $500 or $400 smartwatch.
Yeah. It's a very niche.
But in what world?
I would totally wear that thing.
Oh, dude, what the fuck?
I would love to wear that thing.
You are so
epitome
weird,
of stealth.
You're so weird.
Epitome of stealth.
Dude,
that watch is unbelievable.
I don't care.
It's such a trend.
If people
it's a fad,
flame me,
but I love it.
If the normal way of thinking is to be excited about spending $100,000 on a watch that looks like an Apple Watch, then like you guys have all missed the script. You're all off your rocker. Like, what are you talking about?
It had a little refreshing icon.
Yes, I know
it did.
I know it was so stupid, bro.
So, if we get back to the Streamliner,
yeah, sure.
Laurent Ferrier was the early 1900s. This is supposed to be the 70s, but H. Moser is a very modern brand. It's a recent brand. It's a brand that vertically is totally vertically integrated, which means that they manufacture pretty much everything, including their balance wheels, including their hairsprings. Do you know how hard that is for a company to manufacture their own hairsprings? For an independent that manufactures like 1,000 watches a year? 1,000 watches a year they make.
Actually?
Yes. Do you know how difficult that is?
They only make 1,000 watches a year.
Yes. That's why it's called H. Moser Very Rare, because they only produce 1,000 watches a year. Most of this watch is totally done by hand. The vast majority of it. Very few parts of this watch
That's
are
impressive, and that
machine-finished.
does make me pretty happy, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that means there's not that many of these on people's wrists. Okay, look, let me be serious for a second, okay?
It's got two hair. I'm just gonna like skip over that completely. Here's a fun fact about this Tourbillon, just really quickly for all the nerds out there,
Yeah.
like me. It's actually got 2 hairsprings. How cool is that?
Okay.
It makes it a very functional tourbillon because what happens is, I've talked to you about this before. Tourbillons kind of, they're more useful when a pocket watch was in the same position overall, but it's hard for it, if you're moving your wrist around, in the day, it's hard to mitigate the effect of gravity because, well, you're not in one position, which the balance needs to rotate around. The way that H. Moser decided to cleverly adjust this is they actually added a second hairspring. So while one hairspring might contort, slightly larger, contort differently to gravity, the other one will self-regulate because of isochronism.
I
They
what?
sync up.
Oh,
They sync
okay.
up.
Dude, look, in all seriousness,
In
I'm
very
not
basic
gonna
terms.
debate with you or argue or say that none of the things you just said are impressive. Like, even someone who's completely unfamiliar with the brand like me can look at this watch in 2 seconds and tell you that this is very clearly an haute horology watch brand. You can see it from the finishing. You see it right away in 2 seconds. You're just like, oh shit, that's super impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing about that.
Well, I'm arguing that the
I'm just telling
design
you-
is completely new. It's so unique. It's a marvel of
my
engineering,
God, dude.
It's a marvel
No,
of
but again,
engineering
okay.
just getting this tourbillon movement
I'm sorry, you
with
can't.
the Skelly.
You shouldn't. No, you can't. You shouldn't, in my opinion, especially when it comes to, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying
By the
anymore,
way,
man. Like, I feel
100
delusional. This is not normal, bro.
120 meters of water resistance too.
Who cares? Why are you talking about that
Because
stuff? We're
it's
talking about
design, dude. How do you
No,
make a
no,
watch
no.
like this that has all of that? It's called design. It's called a genius design. And okay, like Brydog, if we go through, I mean, we're probably just going to show all the high-end Streamliners, but
Bro, I don't know, man.
Stainless
When
steel-
you talk about watches and design, you have no room for engineering or horology. Like, at that point,
What?
it's really just, hey, this watch looks good. That's what it means to have
What are
the
you
best
talking
design.
about?
Like,
When
your-
you design a
dude,
watch-
your Glashutte, that was, if you would have made that your choice, I'd been like, I get it. What a beautiful watch.
when you design a watch, you have to incorporate things like how do we make it the same thickness as a standard variation, but add a tourbillon inside. So you have to design the watch. Design goes well beyond, dude.
No, I understand.
When you
I understand
make
what you're
movement
saying, dude.
architecture,
Yes.
Would you say architecture? That's a term that's used. Is
yeah.
architecture part of design?
Yes.
You go to design school, right?
What?
You like this? Does one who's in architecture go to like design school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So design and architecture are linked. When you design a movement, you design the movement architecture. They had to make a proprietary movement architecture for the watch. Thus, movements are part of design. So it's all a sum, man. It's not just watch look good.
I understand the argument you're trying to make, Julien.
Bracelet
But what I'm trying to tell you is
design.
this, okay?
All of that.
There are watches that are crammed with complications, okay?
Yeah, true.
15, 20, 50 complications.
Very true.
Okay, it has lasers and guns and does all kinds of crazy shit. Some
be cool.
watches.
That'd be cool.
But as a result, that watch ends up being like 30 millimeters thick.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
True that.
Okay, perfect. You can't convince me with a straight face that a watch as thick as my knee should be on your wrist and should be considered a beautiful or well designed. It's
But I'm not even making that argument
I'm
now.
making the argument that it's well designed, considering it has 15 complications. But overall, you're never ever going to be able to make a watch with 15 complications as nice as a watch with no complications, in the sense that it just won't be as aesthetic, it won't be as beautiful, it won't be as simple, it won't be as pure.
Depends what you're trying to get out of the watch.
I suppose, but I'm just saying, to my taste, to my opinion, and now what you've done is you've melded this idea of like haute horology and tourbillons and engineering and architecture
into design.
Into design. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? If you showed this watch to someone who doesn't know anything about watches, who's not going to notice at least the intricacies that I'm noticing, they're just going to look at it and say, that's a weird case shape. That's a really odd bracelet. Overall, that's a super weird steampunk looking sci-fi watch. I don't like it. And that's my argument against this. It can't win this category. Like if the category was like most unique watch, then sure.
Listen, man, when they do design awards in the watch community, do you know what's a watch that tends to always show up on those GPHG awards?
The Apple Watch?
No, this watch.
Yeah, the Apple Watch.
So the people that know more than both of us combined tend to vote that this one is the best designed. The Streamliner, when it was released, was GPHG #1.
Look.
I can't remember if it won it, to be fair, but it was definitely like nominee.
Look, let's agree at least that design is subjective. Taste is subjective.
Well, if you want to follow like an accredited, the resource for voting on these sorts of things in horology in the watchmaking industry, GPHG, then it's not subjective. So, I mean, to us, it's subjective. So your whole reasoning is, I don't like it. My whole reasoning is the whole watch community agrees that this thing is a design powerhouse, and so does GPHG.
Yeah, dude, just because some fancy pants decided to give this thing an award doesn't actually mean in the real world, real people think it's nice. Okay?
There's a layman for you. He literally didn't know how to spell watch before this podcast.
What? Listen, we're going in circles, okay? I'm sick and tired of speaking to you right now, honestly, because you make me feel sick with this choice. And I am very curious. I'm not going to change my mind either way, but I am very curious. Yeah. So if you guys could do me a favor, just write in the comments whether or not you agree with Julien that this is a nice watch. Don't waste your time telling me that I'm a potato and that it's not a train company.
They're going to.
That's not the point. I just want to know outside of the complications, outside of the haute horology and the finishing and the skeletonization, all of that. Remove all of that away. When you look at this thing, does it actually look like a nice watch, or does it look like the kind of watch, the kind of thing that you would get in one of those like toy dispensers? You put a quarter in, you twist, and it comes out a little plastic ball, and you open it. I
can't wait for this.
Okay?
I am very confident that the overwhelming amount of people are going to be like, maybe not this variation because the skeleton's very loud, but I brought this watch up to talk about the Streamliner as a whole because I think, by the way, it's stainless.
If you take out the skeleton...
Yeah, go for the standard green
if you go to
dial.
it's even uglier. It's even uglier.
So we'll see.
There's no...
Let's see. You know what? Hey.
Way. There's no way people are going to be like, I love the train watch. There's no way. There's no way.
I could be wrong.
If people actually agree with you, this might be the end of like my watch host career, and honestly I'm totally okay with that. I'm willing to walk away if it means not talking about things like this ever again.
You know what? People have not been easy to both of us in the comments. Now's your time to shine, guys. Go ham at either of us.
It's such
one
a
of us
weird,
is crazy
it's such
here
a
because
weird watch.
One of us
It's so
doesn't get the
weird.
other. So please share your opinions in the comments. Go nuts. Go absolutely nuts. And on that note, thank you so much for watching, guys. This episode's been a lot of fun.
It would crack me up if I got hate mail for this. It would crack me up. There's like, I refuse to believe that people find this beautiful.
I feel like you're just vindictive because I hated your FC choice. So
I don't even care about that. You made valid choice. I can concede when I'm wrong. You were right about that. I could have chosen a better Frederique Constant. You're right.
I might be wrong,
but you're
about
wrong
this.
about this.
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but also neither of us is really wrong because it's all opinions, right, guys? And we're just two high school friends who hate each other. So on that note, thanks for watching, guys.